really oversized. Like,
Bless your heart. Where's your lederhosen?
wow.
So, welcome. You're probably going to hear a bunch of background noise because this is the first podcast and I have none of my equipment. But you're here at the Jake the Dirty Mechanic podcast, and I decided to throw this mock podcast together just because we have this gentleman with us here. His name is Adrian. He's from Germany.
Berlin. This is important to say.
Well, yeah, but you know. What do you do? Why are you here?
I'm making an exchange here. It's like 1 year. I started like 4 months ago. So I came here. I couldn't choose Texas. I didn't want to go here, to be honest.
What's wrong with Texas?
I don't know, like the stereotype of Texas is like all the farms, and I heard some stories about people going to Texas and then being on the farms and just doing like, milk the cows and get the eggs and go back to sleep, you know? And school in between.
Right.
So, but Abilene is pretty big, so.
Is Abilene more, so obviously you're here, you're doing the foreign exchange program. How old are you? 15?
16.
16. He's not legal, ladies. So how is Abilene? Obviously, Abilene isn't like Berlin.
No, not at all.
But like comparative, like size wise, like how's the culture different? I guess you would say.
I mean, first of all, I think Abilene is like pushing to 200,000 or 250,000, I think.
Yeah, I think it's over 200,000.
Yeah, and Berlin's like almost 4 million, so it's kind of the size difference first, and also like the culture. I don't know if you use the term woke in English.
Yeah.
But I would say Berlin is like a woke city, so it's all for the social climate.
Fairly progressive.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. We have a lot of I don't know. I think Berlin is like a culture mix out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of everybody goes there. There are restaurants actually where the servants actually only speak English.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets kind of annoying. You just want to order something and there's like the fancy names, double wobble, triple, bibble, swinky winky. I just want to drink something. You know?
Right. It's like, just give me a Coke.
Yeah.
Please. In German. Yeah, just.
But the part where I'm from is like more suburban, so.
Yeah.
I just have to drive like, I don't know, like 30 minutes with the train, and then I'm at school.
So is there? Okay, so you bringing that up? So the train.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we've spoke about this, but how is it like getting around in Berlin?
I mean, you don't have to have a car at all. It's called BVG. It's for the Berlin Transportation Agency.
Okay.
And basically you just have the card and you can go everywhere basically. You have a tram, like a streetcar, I don't know if you call it streetcar in English. Yeah, streetcar or tram. The actual train, the metro, and the buses.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you can go everywhere pretty fast.
So you guys, is that like a service provided, or is that something you guys have to pay for?
You have to pay for it, but I think it's pretty cheap. Like everybody has it, and some people just don't pay for it because there's not a lot of people that check that.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the trains, there are people going and checking your card.
Yeah, they're just like.
Yeah, some people just don't pay for it and just leave the train before the guide reaches them.
Right.
And just get the next train. So.
Just hop in trains.
Yeah. That's basically what I do. Yeah.
So over in Germany, right? Mm-hmm. So you're in Berlin. Berlin's northeast Germany.
Basically, yeah.
So is there? So it's kind of like any country, right? So like you have like different dialects of the language. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So is there like more of like a proper area of Germany compared to like more of a more of a not conservative, but more of like a classic values portion of Germany, like you have like a touristy area, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You can say that about the north and the south, maybe. The south is more like conservative, as you said.
Yeah.
And the proper German part is pretty much just northern, middle Germany, especially like Berlin is the city of proper German.
Yeah.
The north and all of that, but like since Germany is so crowded with the dialects and cultural differences, you can just drive, I don't know, 1-2 hours and have a completely different dialect. Like in the south, I can't even understand people sometimes. Yeah, it's very hard. Do you have the same problem in English or
Yeah.
sometimes?
Yeah. So like I grew up in Texas. And then you have, so I worked on wind turbines for 9 years. And I would go places, like, I would go to, like, New Jersey and listen to them guys. And I'm like, what in the hell are you saying? Like, just, you go, like, there's different accents, different ways of speech. Like, that's what I was just kind of wondering. Like, if Germany, because, I mean, Germany's, I mean, how long does it take to drive across Germany? Like tip to tip.
12, 13 hours.
Yeah, so I mean, Germany could practically fit in Texas.
It's like half the size of Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, so like that's why I was just kind of wondering if there was that like dialect change, because I know like over in England, because I have friends that are over there, like you know you have the like the Welsh and then the just I'm talking like the British part, not the Scots and you know the whole British Isles, but like England itself, you know you got like Yorkshire, like Kent area, stuff like that, and they all have kind of a different dialect. So I was just wondering if it's kind of the same, you know. But so what, being from Germany, like what is it that you find strange over here? Because I know there's cultural differences.
Yeah, of course.
So
it's a lot.
Yeah.
So, the first thing I noticed when I came to the airport in Abilene, here at the airport in the city and the streets and all of that stuff, is the cars are oversized, really oversized. Like I heard you saying about your truck being like very very high up. Did you have like a ladder or something to reach it?
You'd need one.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of trucks here. Like we have in Berlin, it's so different because people hate SUVs, just SUVs, and I'm not going to start about pickup trucks, you know. But a lot of people have like stickers that they put on street lanterns or their laptop with "fuck SUVs," because it takes a lot of space, and you don't even need a car in Berlin.
So what you're saying is like my GMC, my Yukon XL is a little too big.
Killed, yeah. So that's one difference.
Yeah, so basically, pretty much because like you had talked about earlier, is like Germany uses more public transportation.
Yeah.
So if there is vehicles, you guys are using some like smaller stuff like Fiats, stuff like that.
Fiat is more like Italy. We have a lot of just
or like
cars. I don't know how
like the Mercedes smart cars, stuff like that.
Yeah. Smart cars, you have a lot of these in Berlin.
Yeah.
It's only 2-seater. I think it's too small, to be honest, but
yeah.
I mean, if people want to get it, they can get it. And also here in Abilene, I don't know if it's only Abilene, but everything has a drive-through, you know? even the grocery stores or the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Like you can pick up your medicine out of a window.
Yeah, that's an inherently American thing because as an American myself, I am fairly lazy. So if I don't have to get out of the truck to go get shit, that's one thing that I do like about this area, and like because I'm up in Montana now, just down here visiting for Christmas. But that's one thing I do like about this area is they have Eskimo Hut, which is a drive-through beer barn.
It's a beer barn drive-through.
So you just pull up. You're like, hey, throw a 30-pack in the truck, and then you pay them and you drive off. Like, I don't even have to get out. It's perfect. So So besides vehicles, what else is different? That's just not something that just you see, you know.
Like the kind of people, how they talk, how they interact with each other, because I think sometimes it seems fake, you know, because especially when I came to the school and everybody was new and I was new,
Mm-hmm.
and they came up to me and were talking about, hey, yeah, okay, how's Germany and all this stuff. There was a guy talking to me in PE,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the only time we talked. And after that, I dropped the class, and then like a few weeks later, we saw each other again, and he took me to his car and there was his mom standing, and he was like, yeah, it's my best friend. Like, we talked 2 times, you know. Like, I don't get that.
Yeah, you're just like,
Not at
yeah,
all.
I don't know what this best friend thing is,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that's actually a big thing in the South.
Mhm.
Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. You catch it like northern Florida.
Mhm.
Georgia's real bad about it too. It's a kind of a kill 'em with kindness type of
Yeah.
attitude. Like if you ever hear a Southern woman say "bless her heart" or "bless your heart,"
Mhm.
that's an insult.
Really?
Yes. It's
Okay.
like, oh,
Okay,
like
look out for that.
that means like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's
Mhm.
okay, dear. Like
Okay.
that's yeah. There's like certain
Mhm. Certain phrases.
yeah where like if you go up north, like I'm up in Montana. Everybody's pretty much like straightforward. It's like you're wrong, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's differences
Yeah.
everywhere. Um, so I do understand. I mean, sometimes people just want to interact just
Mhm.
to interact.
I
Just
know, but I think the best friend thing is just too much for me. Like
right.
in Germany, I don't know. If you have a best friend, it's usually for a couple years. You know, the person since. I mean, I know my best friend since first grade,
Hmm.
elementary school, and I would consider him my best friend, of course. Um, but I don't know anybody in Germany, at least, that knows one person for under a year and calls them best friend. You know,
Yeah,
because it
like
takes
they just
time.
like they just meet them. They're like, hey, this is my bro. This is my best friend. Like fucking
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that doesn't. So that right there. So you've known that guy for since you were in first grade,
Yeah.
right? So you're what a
Junior.
sophomore, junior?
Junior, yeah.
Yeah, junior now. Um, so I mean, you bringing that up. So have you lived like so where you're at, right? There's gonna be fireworks going off like crazy. So where you're at, have you lived there like your whole life? Like
Oh, that's interesting.
how is it for like you and like Germany? Because like Germany, like I said,
Hmm.
is a country that's like will fit in Texas.
Yeah.
So do you guys like as a whole, like, do people tend to move around a lot, or do you guys tend to just kind of stick in your one little areas, or?
Mm, it's interesting that you ask because I'm a special case, I would say, because I'm born in Switzerland, actually.
Yeah.
So my mom moved there from Russia and
What part of Russia?
Moscow,
Oh, okay.
the
I got a
capital.
friend from Kasakas, so
Hmm.
yeah.
So she moved there, and I was born there. For 3 years, we lived there, and I mean, I was talking Swiss German.
Mm-hmm.
So when we moved to Berlin, because Switzerland was too expensive, I think you have to live there for a long time to actually have the citizenship and have to work there and have to do a test and you get the neighbors ask and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was too expensive. We moved to Germany, Berlin, and the people didn't understand me first, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so they had like a small note translating all the Swiss German stuff I said so they could understand me. It was pretty funny, but I can't speak it anymore.
Right.
Only like proper German now. But to come back to your question, I think people, I think they don't move a lot actually in Germany. I think when you leave high school and go to college, you move around a bit. You go to the big cities most of the times, somewhere you can study the thing you want to study. But most of the times, people come back to the place where they're born or lived most of the time. So it's pretty much like a small community.
So they just
stay
come
in.
back to where they're comfortable.
Yeah.
See, it's not like, because, I mean, I was born in England, but my dad was military. So we came back over here when I was 4, and, we came to Abilene.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we ended up moving when I was like 9 to Washington. Lived in Washington for about 4 years. Moved back to Abilene. Lived here, freaking went to high school here, and then, went to work in wind turbines. Traveled the whole freaking country. Lived in a bunch of random places, and now I'm in Montana. So that's why I was just kind of wondering, like, if it's kind of like a tight knit community, like you were saying, like, people leave for college, so come back to that community and like start their own family and have their own thing, and then just kind of so.
Like the thing with staying in small places doesn't really exist because, I mean, Germany is a pretty high standard community society. So when you move somewhere, you just get an apartment, an actual apartment. Yeah, don't have like a trailer you live in. I think
What's wrong with a trailer?
I don't know. It's just something Germans don't do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think as a German, you just want to have your stuff where you're at and no risk of people getting there or something.
Yeah.
You just want to have your 4 walls. Like you say, you want to have your 4 walls around you.
Yeah.
Like that's a saying.
Speaking of that, how so? Obviously, being in the States, and then you've been here, post virus. Can't say it, but there's been a huge increase in like homeless population in Abilene, and I know you've seen them around. Like, how do you guys have that same sort of issue? I know you guys have a lot of immigrants coming in, especially from the Middle East. But do you guys have like the same type of like homeless population like we do here, or is it like subsidized, through the country, or?
I think the homeless issue didn't really get worse over the pandemic. But I think the people were just more related. Not related, but they had to get more help, because of the winters and the stores were closed where they buy stuff. I think the people, it didn't get worse, but a lot of people lost their job. But we have like a system when you lose your job and you don't have money at all. The government is going to give you an apartment for the time you search for a job, and then you can get money and get your own apartment. So that's a system. It's like catching you before you can go back, so you don't fall at all. But some people just abuse that system and just live on like the edge,
So do people.
And get paid for doing nothing.
There's a lot of people that ride the system, ride unemployment here in the States, and it sucks. If you're able to get a job, hey, guess what? McDonald's is hiring. Go work at McDonald's so you can find something better. That's as far as I'm gonna go on my rant for the day.
I think the issue in Germany is just that you get too much money. You get if people don't work and just are happy with the lifestyle they get, I think that's too much. They get too much money. They should be working so they get better stuff, but
you should
get too much money. Yeah.
Government assistance should be there to help you with bills during a rough period while you're trying, not giving you free food, not giving you free money, not taking care of every last little need that you
And that's how it works right now. It's kind of
and that's what happens here too. To a point, obviously. I mean, we have a lot of homeless people, but a lot of them are. Now there are people that have legitimate issues that have lost their homes, and I feel bad for them, especially with the pandemic stuff. Our homeless system, everybody, it's gotten bad, but there's a lot of people that are able to not be homeless.
What exactly do you mean?
For an example, I was driving down the road, right? Just yesterday, I was driving down the road. There was a lady standing on the street corner with a sign that said, "I lost my job. Please help." It's not hard to find a job.
So you think some people are just being homeless because they're lazy here?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's not the problem in Germany. I think if you're homeless, you are homeless.
Yeah.
I think people really want to get off the streets in Germany, but some people are afraid to go to the job center to get a job because they have to get every single like paper and all the documents and stuff. And some people just don't want to show their history, like they have a bad past or something.
Yeah.
And in the job center, they want to see everything. So some people just don't go there and stay homeless, but not because they want to, just because they're too ashamed of their past.
More pride
Yeah.
than anything. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of that. So how does being that okay? So like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of immigration coming into Germany right now. So how does the German government handle the people? Because I know a lot of the people coming in are undocumented. There's just like here in the United States. Not saying there's anything bad, but you should go through the right channels no matter what you're doing. There are ways, and it's not as difficult as you think. But how is the German government handling? Because I know Germany's getting a massive influx compared to the rest of Europe from the Middle East. Like, how are they handling that from like your perspective?
Yeah. So, it's a problem. They can't handle it at all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they can't handle it at all, but
It's
there are a lot of
overwhelming.
issues. Yeah, because some people like the tactics are like, okay, we're gonna go to Germany. We just throw our papers away and go in, you know, because Germany is a very social country, so they take the people and help them no matter what. And some people just like, I'm not saying there are not people that deserve that, not at all. There are people, but some people just abuse that system and get into the country to get all the money, even though maybe they had something, like they had money or still have money sometimes, but they just want to get all the amount they can have. And for example, in 2014-15, I think was the worst time to the immigrant stuff. They built a lot of homes, like temporary homes, like in containers and stuff, and it's fully functional with electricity, water, and all that stuff. That was handled good, I think. Like they got homes.
Good enough. Kind of gave them a spot. It's like, here, this is where you're gonna be while we're figuring out what's going on.
But the problem right now is just people think, okay, all the problems in Germany right now because of immigrants. It's all immigrants. And of course there are immigrants that do terrible stuff like I don't know, knife attacks on like Christmas markets, or this year, I think a few weeks ago, there was a guy driving with a truck into a Christmas market again. That happened like 4 years ago or something.
Right.
So it's a trust issue with the immigrants between most of Germans.
Yeah.
So there's like a party rising right now that says, okay, immigrants out, and pretty much saying all the conservative stuff, and it's kind of far right wing party.
Yeah.
And that's kind of issue right now because they just abuse the fear of too many immigrants, and people are feared, so they will vote for that, and it's kind of bad right now.
So what you're saying is that there's like a true fascist party coming back.
Yeah.
And I don't like using that word because it's way overused in the United States. So a lot of very left-leaning, you would say probably communist Democrats like to say that anybody with a brain is a fascist. And just because I don't like your blue hair doesn't mean I'm a fascist. I'm sorry. But I'm getting canceled. First episode, it's done. But yeah, they don't understand what true fascism is, and they just anybody that thinks different than them, anybody that I'm not getting into it, but anybody that thinks that different than them is a fascist, and they are not. That's not what fascism is. We're gonna leave that one alone. So I think probably the biggest question, right? Since I have you here, is where's your lederhosen?
Wow. That's the most stereotypical thing you could ever ask. I know people hate when you ask this.
Right.
Because all the world thinks Bavaria is Germany, you know? Like you go to social media, you type in Germany, oh it's all pretzels and all the leather pants and all the dancing and all the I can't do it now.
All the like the big brass instruments and
Germany is not like that. Oh, it's only a state. It's Bavaria. It's the biggest state. It's cool, but it's not all Germany. Not at all.
So you would say that that's more the tourist area?
Oh yeah. It's all like the mountains in the south, Bavaria, and it's warmer there. They have lakes. They have cool cities. You know, everybody comes there.
So if you want to see, so if you want to do like touristy trap stuff and basically like party, like southern Germany's the place to go. If you want to see like beautiful like architecture and actual culture, northern Germany's more.
I mean, Bavaria is actual culture. I'm not saying that's not culture, but
it's tourist culture.
It's tourist culture, so yeah. So I think they have tourist traps. It's not as bad as in Spain. I mean, it's Germany. It's like.
Oh, I know Spain's bad.
Yeah, Spain is bad.
Spain is bad.
Like party, I wouldn't go party in the south.
No.
Not at all. No. They have like the traditional dances.
Well, isn't that where like Beer Fest is?
I wouldn't consider that partying. I would just call it beer drinking. We call it Saufen. It's like a term for excessive alcohol consumption.
Saufen?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Saufen?
Saufen?
Saufen.
Yeah, basically. So, if you want to go party, go to Berlin. Because, like, you can't be everything you want to be in Berlin. It's like the city, nobody cares. Everybody goes there. We have everything there. You can.
So is it like kind of like Ibiza of Germany?
I don't know what Ibiza is known for, to be honest.
Partying.
It is a lot of partying there, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's bad. Like the prices are bad sometimes. I was 2 years ago. I had an exchange kid from Spain. It's only in a week. It's like
that's not even an exchange. Like that's like
it's more like visiting
12 hours.
Yeah. So he was in Berlin with me and my classmates, and we wanted to go to a party. It was like a above 14 party, so not as bad as the others.
Above 14.
Yeah.
What's legal drinking age?
16.
16.
They sold beer only to 16 years old. So.
Yeah.
But we went there. It's called A7. It's in the middle, and when we were finished, it was a bad party. It was not good.
Garbage.
Yes. And when we left, we wanted to pick up our jackets, and we were like 20 people that wanted to leave at a time, and we paid for our jackets and all of that stuff at the beginning when we entered the party. I wanted to leave, and they said, "Wait, you have to pay." And we're like, okay, we paid already.
We already paid. Yeah.
And
are you talking like checking your coats and stuff at the door?
Yeah, we just wanted to go back out of the wardrobe. And they charged us 50 euros for all of us.
It's like $75.
Yeah. For all that stuff. And I don't know. Nobody wanted to pay. And a few people paid, and I was one of them. I paid 10 euros. Just for my jacket, you know.
Just to
paid
leave.
For it.
Just to leave.
Yeah, it was bad. We got scammed. I think just because we're young.
You know, I've been to a few lady of the night clubs, we'll say, that have basically charged me to leave as well.
What was it for?
We didn't stay very long. Let's put it that way. They weren't very good.
Okay.
There was one I went to. Showed up. They took me to strip club.
Mm-hmm.
They took
Oh,
me
you said
to
it. Okay.
yeah. Took me to a strip club, and it was literally we pulled up to this like 2-story house
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of this like residential area,
Mm-hmm.
and we were in Illinois, and I'm like, where are we going? We ended up like walking around the side of this house, like down the steps into the basement, and they had a strip club in the basement of this house, and I'm like, we're leaving.
Too much.
Not doing it. No, it was just like it was haggard.
Okay.
It was not
Okay.
good.
Mm-hmm.
um, so is I guess what is the main point? Which I mean I can kind of understand. So like, what is the main reason for like the exchange program? So basically like it's just so you can come over here, experience the culture, like see like how the other
Mm-hmm.
side of the world lives. Like that's.
So, actually, I wanted to go somewhere else. I wanted to go to Australia and New Zealand first, but it
Hmm.
was too expensive, so I guess USA.
Yeah, you right now you don't want to be in New Zealand anyways. I got some friends over there and
No,
they're
it's
having
bad.
some issues.
Okay. So, basically, my first thought was I want to get better at my English skills
Hmm.
and get a like honors class for the last 2 years of school to get good English grades because it's very important, like to speak English and stuff. You know that.
Hmm.
Um, but
Yeah,
this
which I'm not very good at.
and the second main point was just get their experience, like all the stereotypes you have in your head, like obesity, the homelessness,
Mhm.
the stupidity and uneducation of people, like the education is bad. That's a
he's
stereotype.
he's talking about me.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that kind of stuff. I just wanted to check, like get better English, get to know the culture, and basically it's just how I imagined it would be. Like people are
We're
passionate.
all fat and ignorant.
I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean,
So what is it? What
but
is it about our eating habits that you don't like?
fast food.
Yeah, I mean it's everywhere. I mean our culture definitely we love our food, and
Mm-hmm.
we love our fast food as well. As you were saying earlier,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird seeing that you can drive around anywhere and just drive up to a window, get your stuff, and leave.
Yeah.
You know,
Like you don't walk at all.
yeah. No, we don't walk. You
No.
get in your truck and you drive. Like
Mm.
we don't need to walk. Um, but so I know. I know you've made fun of my eating habits since you've
Yeah.
been here. So what is the meat thing? What is the
The
meat
meat
thing
thing.
about?
I don't know, just the excessive overconsumption of meat. I don't know, especially in Berlin. A lot of vegetarians out there. Like I would say at least half of my school is vegetarian now, and we like 2,000 students.
Now, are you talking full vegetarian? Or are you talking like
Full vegetarian.
okay?
And I was vegetarian myself for 1 year,
Hmm.
and I was not bad. Like I don't know how's it here to do that, but in Germany it's not bad because you have a lot of alternatives, and in general the food you eat in Germany, as I don't know, in the south it's maybe different, but in the north it's not always meat based. You have a lot of potatoes going on, vegetables, and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Eggs is not vegetarian, so you can eat it.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. It's just the culture different. It's just different. The meat consumption is not that high.
Right. And then that's the thing too. So, um, like you were saying, you don't know how it is over here. Like you can be a vegetarian here.
Yeah.
It's definitely you're definitely the food and everything's accessible to you. It's
Mhm.
just a lot more expensive.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, me personally, I like meat. Obviously,
Yeah.
like what's like a typical dish for you guys? Like something that you normally eat all the time that
Mm.
obviously isn't. It's not meat, but
Mm. It's not something special, but something my mom would cook maybe when we don't have anything good at home right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just put spinach, like a cream spinach. It's like soft, not fried anything. White rice, not fried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just steamed rice.
Yeah, and
not fried. He's clarifying because we fry everything.
And the eggs not fried.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically like a meal you would get, and
so
mixed
you
vegetables.
So I mean that's not bad. I mean that's something that I would eat too. You know, throw a couple eggs in a pan, cook them up, and have some steamed rice. Throw the
mixed vegetables.
Just mix it all up and have a nice.
Yeah,
kind of like we went to the hibachi grill, kind of like that, like how they have the rice, but they give you the veggies.
With the difference that's not all soaked in oil.
Yeah, it's not soaked in freaking teriyaki sauce and grease and butter, but that's what makes it good, and that's why we are fat.
You can have a lot of good meals without fat. Don't believe in it.
But I love fat. It tastes good. But there's different types of fats too. So I mean, it's not something that. So.
Before you say anything, I have to say something.
Okay.
Because earlier we talked about the education stuff.
Oh.
And I have to say some phrases that I was asked so far. So.
So am I like clarifying what these phrases are?
No, I'm just gonna say them, and we're gonna leave them like that, okay?
Okay.
So, once there was a guy coming up to me, and he said, "Oh, but okay, you're from Germany," and I was saying, "Yeah," and he was thinking that Germany is an English-speaking country, and that in Germany we speak English but with a German accent. So that's one thing I was asked. Then there was a girl that talked about me about like coming here and how I did that, and she was like, "We're like driving the car or were you walking?" I was like North America is, I think it's like here, and then Europe, and there's like a whole ocean in between, like and I don't know how you get there with a car, so that's one thing that was funny. Or one girl asked me if we have grapes in Germany.
Yes.
Like that's a random ass question,
Do you have grapes in Germany? I don't know. I mean, we got wine and stuff, but we don't have grapes. Like,
it doesn't make sense at all. It's so stupid sometimes. I think I don't know. I don't even know what to think,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I will say. I just heard my name. So, obviously, the United States isn't known for its educational prowess.
To say friendly and nice.
We're like, well, you want to join in? Oh yeah. We're like number 22. Huh?
What do you say?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're like number 23 or 22 or maybe 40th. I don't know. Something in the fucking world for education.
Yeah.
But we have fun. That's the plus.
It's biology class, and you just sit there having a paper to color. Like, doesn't make sense at all. Germany is so much harder. It's so funny actually. I don't know what to say.
You just come over here. You just like, I'm gonna take a nap.
I'm just like, some teachers just get us in the class and be like, okay, free time, and people just sleep in school,
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody ever would do that in Germany.
That might have been me in high school.
The teachers allow it, so I would do the same.
Right. So how is it structurally? Because I know how you were saying like the school is horrible here.
Yeah.
But like, you think it's got good bones and just bad execution, or you think it's just shit?
I think the idea of an high school where you have a cool environment and everybody's cool with each other, or you have fun, that's not a bad idea necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to learn something, but you learn nothing.
Yeah.
That's why I got asked so stupid questions, you know? I don't know, my teacher used to say in Germany, school's not for fun, school's for learning.
Mm-hmm.
So our high school works so differently, like it's so much more stress and so much more stuff you have to learn actually. You have to actually go home and have all your papers, have to write down the notes and like 7 pages to learn before the exam, you know?
Yeah,
And
that's how it used to be when I was in high school.
so that's how we would do it. And
I would have to copy like 5, 10 pages out of a book, and I'm like, this
yeah, you know,
is
like that's the
garbage.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like high school is not built for a cool environment. It's just a building that they built. They put classrooms in there. It's all plain white. You have the board, you have the desks, and that's it. You know, like
Yeah.
no fun flags and no coloring, no posters.
No
Sometimes
coloring in high school.
no coloring. No, that's elementary. That's elementary stuff.
Well, I mean, it's I would think that it's safe to say that Germany is very, very strict and
Like hard working.
very, what's the word? Not,
Discipline.
yeah, they're very, very strict and very disciplined. Where like here in the United States, we're just more like lackadaisical and don't really give a crap.
Yeah.
That's kind of like your guys' viewpoint.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Ah, that's great. So, you've been here for 4 months.
Yeah.
Have you got to like experience anything that's like have you been to like an American amusement park?
Oh,
You've been
that's
to
what I mean. Okay.
like Schlitterbahn or anything like that, or like anything that's just interesting. Like, have you got to do anything like that? That
Yeah, I was in Washington D.C. for 4 days.
mm-hmm.
It was a trip from the agency I'm with. It's
Yeah.
called FLAG.
Flack is the agency.
Yeah, and it was like all the exchange kids from all over U.S. came there to visit D.C. and have like a seminar for homesickness or how to handle like friendships like that far, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or relationships or how you handle your host family and that kind of stuff. It was fun. We saw everything basically. There was like a whole afternoon where we just drove around, looked at something for 20 minutes, and hopped into the bus again and just drove by, you know.
Yeah.
Saw it, you know. Like, we saw everything basically, like for 20 minutes at least.
Got to see the entire DC.
Yeah,
Which
that was really cool.
which is that is definitely a lot more than a lot of people in the United States have seen of Washington DC.
Yeah, I noticed that many people just don't leave the United States. Like they've never been outside of it.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, since we came back over, I haven't left.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna go work in Australia for a year, but what they wanted me to do is they wanted me to go work in Australia for 6 months, come back for 2 weeks, and then go back to Australia for 6 months. And the way our tax system is they would have taxed me double on the amount of money that I made by going over there.
Oh, because you have to pay to Australia and the United States?
Yes, but if I just strictly worked in Australia for 366 days, then I would only have to pay like one tax bracket instead of this other tax bracket. And I'm like, nah, I'd make more money just staying here. There's no point in me going. Like, then why Northern Australia? Why would I want to go work there?
There's nothing.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
I was just gonna go for the money.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like America, like the United States itself is so big. Like tomorrow, for example, I'm gonna be driving home from where I'm at. We're in Abilene right now, and I'm driving to Montana. It's a 22, almost 23-hour drive back to where I'm
Do you
going.
do a break?
Yeah, I'll usually stop for like an hour or two, take a nap, and then keep driving.
Hour or two? You don't sleep anywhere?
Truck stop.
Wow. Okay. Like I think Germans would, I don't know, go to a motel or something for a night.
See, I would.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like traveling like that with the kids, especially. But got to be back at work, so I want to be able to get back.
Yeah.
Get everything unpacked, get laundry done, get the kids settled in. We're doing our second Christmas because the wife couldn't come with us this time. So there's a lot of stuff that we got to do. So it's just one of those things I got to get down there. And then not only that, but right now, so currently today, here in Abilene, we were 55 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is for. Was that like what 17 Celsius, something like that? I don't know, but yeah. So American, it was 55 degrees. Back home, it was 29 degrees.
A lot colder.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot colder. And the fact is that Thursday afternoon it's going to start snowing. So there's a couple passes that I have to get through to get home. So we're gonna have to leave. I'm gonna pretty much try to just drive straight through, because if I can get there and beat the snow in the passes, that way the passes don't get shut down, and then I have to sit and wait, and I'm not gonna be happy.
So you would wait or just drive around it?
No, you gotta. Most of the time, there's a couple areas where you can't drive around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. I mean, like that's your main path.
I mean, I don't know anybody besides you from Montana. From Montana. So.
Yeah, and I mean that's a lot of places too, like Colorado, Utah.
Yeah, it was pretty empty.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you get on one of those side roads, those side highways, and they shut it down. You're not going anywhere. I mean, you can backtrack another 4 hours and then try and go around that way.
But why did they do shut it down?
Weather, basically ice, heavy snow. Basically, people don't know how to drive. So they get stuck, get sent off the road. People get into accidents. So that's why they end up shutting it down. A lot of times too, especially in like Wyoming. So Wyoming, the snow doesn't necessarily stick in Wyoming, but what happens is that like the highways will freeze over, and they have basically a funnel that just runs down Wyoming, and it has extremely high winds. So when the highway's frozen over, you have these crosswinds. It's blowing people off the road. So I mean that's why they would be shutting the roads down. But I think we'll beat all that weather.
Hopefully.
Hopefully
the car doesn't break down again.
Oh Jesus! No, hopefully not.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
That video is probably going to be out before this one. So. Oh jeez. But yeah, no. Well, shit. We're going on 49 minutes.
49 minutes already.
Doesn't feel like it.
Wow. I thought it was going to be like 20 minutes or something. I didn't expect it to be that long.
Yeah, see, like once you get going, it's not that bad.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I am too. But, so, first podcast. I want to thank Adrian for being here.
Of course.
Obviously, I'm going to have a little bit more professional setup next time and further ahead, but I wanted to do this while he was here and while I was down here, get to talk with him. Where's your hat?
Oh?
Where's your hat? Where's that? Hold on.
What do you mean, my head? Oh, my hat. Oh, yeah, okay, this one. Wait, give it to me.
So I went ahead. See, I made one of these because I left my hat in Montana, and Adrian wanted my hat, so I went ahead and made him his own hat, and I went ahead and signed it, and we got the old number 1 on there. So that's my first ever signature. Adrian's gonna have it, and this is going to Germany.
Yeah. In a few years, if y'all want it.
In a few years, this will be worth hundreds of pennies. Hundreds of pennies.
No, it's gonna blow up. You're gonna blow up. And then it's gonna be my investment for a long time.
That's gonna buy him his house in Germany, in South Germany.
For $1 million euros. It's expensive. It's expensive.
But no, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I know this is probably kind of a shit show, but I think it was a pretty fun episode.
That was cool.
So I definitely want to thank you guys for sticking around, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.